great conversations to have this morning. Top on the lineup will be the president calling for a forensic audit into expenditure in 2023 for the All-African Games. At least I tend to use the Boteman Road from Ajegwejo to Boteman Road. It's one of the legacies of the All-African Games for 2023. And so it's one huge legacy. One huge legacy also is the rehabilitation, which is now in great use of the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. And so, but alongside, well, some people in our society, especially anti-corruption crusaders, seem not to be happy with the explanations that were given for the line items for the $245 million spent on that games. 13,000 participants from various African countries came for those games as well. And now the president, after consistent calls over the last couple of months, now has triggered the Auditor General to investigate that. You would also know Mustafa Hamid, the former CEO for the National Petroleum Authority, had said that the OSP's case against him, as well as others, was useless, so to speak. But subsequently, we've had a number of concerns on social media, particularly because the OSP swiftly responded to Mustafa Hamid, again reiterating the charges and the reasons why they had been arraigned before courts. It's quite an interesting, I won't say drama, but issue as well. So make sure you stick and stay, join us. But we'll be talking briefly about, now we're told, being arraigned before court or being charged. The Member of Parliament for Isunafo South granted bail 150,000 Ghana cedis, and it follows his actions and inactions in what he claimed to be an intervention he made to quell some agitations in Shidim that happened over the weekend, and over the last 4 days has been trending. And a number of people have commended the president for taking the action swiftly, although also say that, well, it also means that his key party members and leaders are into Galamsey. What do you make of it as well? So all of you who are joining us, we're grateful. I have here Dr. Joshua Jamuntiezato of Sisala East. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Roland.
He's even in blue.
Good morning, Roland.
Good morning. How are you?
We're just giving time some time,
Who coined that phrase? I thought Dennis Miracle Abuaja.
I have no idea. I just know it's a good phrase.
Akanai. All right. Edem Agbana is also the Member of Parliament for Ketu North. Thank you for joining us, Edem.
Thank you, Roland.
And then Solomon Owusu. He currently is it General Secretary?
No, Director of Communications and Spokesperson.
Okay. Director of Communications.
You want to reduce my title?
My apologies, sir. Of the Butterfly Party, United Party, the reincarnated UP.
Secretary not.
Let me say good morning to all of you who have joined us as well. But the NAIMOS issue seems to be dominating the headlines. I see Joanna Kwe. Joanna, it's been a while I've seen you on the stream, but good morning. Thank you for joining us. Please share the stream. Let's have some great conversation. Today promises to be interesting. Prince Nani Ayok is watching us from the UK. Yamole Yamo. My sweetheart, how are you? Good morning to you as well. I see Roger Gongo, a number of you. Please make sure you share the stream. Money. Newton, Sir Newton. It's been a while. FOE Suto as well as Amako Konsa. All of you, please share the stream. Let's have some great conversations thereof. Hudu Joe, Pajo as well. And Zilis Dwayne. Zilis Dwayne. They trashed. Well, no, it's not trashing. It's just a nil. A 1-0 win over Real Madrid. And he was all over the place on social media. Zilis Dwayne, good morning to you. Ni Dromosaki, please share the stream. Let's answer. And then Daniel Akpaliok, Ashong, I say you as well. Now, Edem, your colleague, I'm told he's your friend as well. And now he's been charged.
Roland, let me say good morning to my brothers on the panel, to you, and also to our cherished viewers across the world. And kindly permit me to acknowledge a personal loss. Yesterday, we lost a brother and a very good friend of mine, a colleague in the struggle, Prince Patrick Ankra, popularly known as Kofi Wayo. He left us sadly yesterday, and myself and all of us in the NDC and young people across the political divide who have fond memories of Kofi Wayo are in sharp pain, and allow me to extend my deepest condolences to the family, especially to his young wife and his young children. His passing is a sharp reminder that at every point in time, our involvement in this political enterprise should be about the people, should be people-centered, should be about selfless service, should be about sacrificing to make this country a better place. And Kofi Wayo was that genuine person who stood by everybody and who responded to everyone anytime you called on him. And it's sad that we lost him at such a crucial time. And so I want to extend my condolences to the entire NDC, especially to the youth wing of the party for such a great loss. Roland, back to the issue of Galamsey and my colleague, the Honorable Ebenezer Kwekuado, who is currently before court for his alleged involvement in some acts that sought to undermine the operations of NAIMOS, or operations of the Anti-Galamsey Task Force that we have in place. Let me, even before delving into the issue, register the fact that yes, the Honorable Ebenezer Kwekuado is a very good friend of mine, one of my colleagues in Parliament. We are all backbenchers, and because he's quite young, we go along quite well. He's a very good friend. I have known him for many years, even before we entered Parliament, because I was Deputy National Youth Organizer of the NDC, and so I've worked with him across his constituency and in the Bono, the Ahafo regions and all of that. Having known him and the kind of person he is, I was surprised when I heard the news, or I read some of those things on social media, because he's one of the young people that I easily can vouch for as somebody who will not engage in any act of illegality to the extent of even mobilizing thugs or people to go and attack NAIMOS. And so when I heard it, the first thing I said was we needed to verify and hear his side of the story. I quickly sent him a text message. I called him, and he denied flatly all the allegations leveled against him, and he raised some very critical issues. And listening to him, the matter is before court, and so I cannot pass judgment. But listening to him and the facts as are available to us now, I believe that the young MP did not commit the acts that he was accused of. I believe. I'm saying that I don't want to go, but listening to him, that's what I said, because I don't know what facts the prosecution team has against him in court. But listening to him and how he narrated the incident, this may appear to be a coincidence of a sort. And Roland, let me tell you something. As a member of Parliament, it is very easy for any of us as MPs to fall into such circumstances or such coincidence. Very easy. Especially if you are operating, or as a member of Parliament, you are very responsive to the people. I will give you a typical example. On Monday, we had a sword cutting for an ultra-modern ICT lab in in my constituency. So the constituents believed, or
Which
some
one?
imagined,
The Prof. Double
we with Prof. Double, the one that the Charity Gali Foundation is leading. After the sword cutting, I left around 5 p.m. that day. Around 9 p.m., I got calls from that there was some mob action in the community because a gentleman has stabbed his friend, he stabbed somebody to death, and the youth thought that the police could not handle the case. So the same community. If I was in the constituency, maybe I would have driven to the scene to calm the youth down, because as a leader, you expect that they will listen to you. But because right after the program, I left for Accra, I was not around, so I told them I wasn't around. I called the police and asked them to maintain peace and order and all of that. As we speak, the gentleman who was stabbed is no more. The one who allegedly committed the offense was also beaten to pulp, and many other. It was quite chaotic. Now, naturally, when there are incidents of this nature, instead of reporting to the police, the people's first resort is their political leaders.
Really?
So, yes, and that is the reality on the ground. I don't know about Dr. Zato, but the truth is that if there is...
They call you guys first?
They call us first. Roland, if there is any chaos anywhere in our constituencies, look, I can tell you, you can conduct a research. More than 90% of our constituents may not even have the contacts of the police, or may not even know which numbers to call to get to the police. So even when there is an accident, when there is any chaos, there is fire, we, the political leaders, become the first point of call. And so if you are around, it is possible that, like he said, he was traveling for a funeral and he used the community. He was just trying to bring calm. Like I said, I don't want to go into the merits of the case before it is before court. But in all of these things, Roland, there are three things that I think that we must focus on, that should be a lesson, that should tell you again that the NDC is different. Number one.
Which are those?
Number one, here is a member of parliament, part of the NDC, his party is in power. But see how swiftly the party has allowed for the institutions of the state, the courts, to work. In fact, some of us disagreed with the bail conditions that the judges gave. But here is our member. His party is in power. The president did not shield him. The party chairman did not shield him. Mr. Speaker did not shield him. And the party has allowed and said, let the gentleman be taken through due process for him to prove his innocence. That tells you that the NDC is substantially different, because under the MPP, we didn't witness this level of political commitment.
Oh, Charles Bissio, etc. They were all investigated.
Even when there was a video evidence against Charles Bissio, he was cleared. He was cleared. Roland, look.
OSP investigated.
Roland,
we have
this could not have happened under the NPP, that their sitting member of parliament will be hauled before court in this swift manner. When did the issue happen? Over the weekend. And yesterday was Tuesday. Speaker had granted permission, the party leadership had agreed, and the gentleman went to court. First thing we have to notice, it tells me that my party, my government is committed to the fight against galamsey. And my party is so law-abiding that regardless of your status, regardless of your position within the party, when you are seen as an impediment in our fight against galamsey, the party is ready to deal with you. Yes, the gentleman will have his day in court, but the way the party has handled, the way the government has handled this issue should give us some confidence that we are substantially different.
Adam, when you spoke to your friend, you say he's your friend.
Very good friend.
Apart from being a colleague, he's your friend.
Yes, he's my friend.
Did you ask him whether he brought tax or people?
He denied bringing tax, and he told me.
So the people, who made the eyewitness or hearsay report are lying.
He was traveling with his vice chairman and his driver, and basically when you are going for a friend, you can even see from his outfit that the gentleman was on his way, and that part of the, where the thing happened was not even in his constituency. But this, that's what he told me.
So wait, he took keen interest.
I have no reason to doubt him.
So he took keen interest in the matter which he's not.
Roland, that is his neighboring.
A constituent
that is
MP.
Your neighboring constituency. Roland, if I am going to Ketu North and something is happening in Akachi, I will not say because I am not Honorable Bernard I'm here for, so I will just ignore and leave. So it happens. There are many times that sometimes our colleague MPs will come to your constituency, face a situation, solve the problem before they will even communicate to you. Recently, there was an accident in my constituency involving a constituent of Afram Place, so Honorable Peli Walasi. After we resolved the issue, he quickly called and said, oh, those people were my people. It happens all the time, Roland. And so there is nothing wrong if an MP decides to intervene in a situation in his neighboring constituency. Like I said, he will have his day in court. But with the accounts that the Honorable Ebenezer Kwekuado gave me, I have no reason to doubt him at all that he is not, but he will prove that in court. I am not the court. Roland, the second thing we should take notice of, see how quickly NDC leaders went after the gentleman, even when they did not hear his side of the story. Appointees of this government, communicators of the government, see how NDC leaders, including even MPs, went after the gentleman. It tells you one thing, that as a party, as a government, we are willing to put our all in this fight against Galamsey. And so we will not tolerate any acts of subordination, any act that seems to undermine that fight. It tells you that we will not say because the person is an NDC member, the person should be shielded. But let me bring you back to something. Recall, earlier this year, on your platform, Edward Jitameklu, who now has NPA, mentioned it here and sent this warning to the NDC members that when you are caught in any situation of Galamsey, be rest assured that President Mahama and the NDC will not shield you. And that is what we have demonstrated. And Roland, the third thing is that Parliament really has allowed for proper separation of powers in this matter. When the issue was reported, our leadership did not shield him. The majority leader, Chief Whip, all of them, they have been involved in the case. They've allowed for the gentleman to go. He was with the police yesterday. When they granted him bail, it took some time for him to be able to gather the sureties, even though some of us disagree with the bail conditions. Well, how can you say, for example, that a gentleman cannot travel out of Greater Accra when his constituency is not here? He is a member of Parliament. The fact that you are investigating him or you are taking him to court does not mean you should stop him from doing his parliamentary work. So tomorrow, if there is a forum, if there is a program in his constituency, he cannot go because he's going to court. He's not going to travel out of this country or run away or anything like that. So even though we disagree, we have seen that institutions are working. We have seen that the NDC is truly committed to the fight against Galamsey. And I wish my brother Ebenezer Kwekuado well. I met him again yesterday after they granted him bail. And he is so confident that he is innocent. And I pray that he will have his day in court to prove his innocence on account of what he has told us.
All right. Dr. Zato, what do you make of this? A lot of narrations, he says, it also shows that...
Was Erastus at the scene? I forgot to ask. Because he brought out the issue. Erastus outside Donko. We appreciate his fight, the things he does, but was he at the scene?
He's speaking based on intel.
Intel.
And he's always been doing his work mostly based on intel.
But he created the impression as though he was at the scene and saw the MP lead the tax. These are some of the critical questions that we should be asking.
Dr. Zato, I see you're just keenly pondering over what you say. What would you say in response?
No, I was just listening to the Kweku Anansi stories. Nicely
you describe it as Kweku Anansi
by the honourable member,
please, no disruptions.
Honourable member of Parliament. What we've just heard today is perfectly captured as revisionist, and I like the revisionist whitewashing of your friend, and I like that. And I just like where you just ended now. You were not there to say something. You are questioning Erastus Asaridonko's version, but you were not there. You believe everything your personal friend said. That is the classical example of whitewashing. And I've seen that attempt to whitewash this guy.
You're saying that he believes...
He just said it. No,
there's second-hand information from...
He believes what his friend said.
From the MP.
But he doesn't believe what
Erastus Asaridonko said. He doesn't believe the second information from...
Yes. So typical, very, very, very typical. But look, there's something I have to do. Before I come to the very issue, there's a hero and there's a patriot we have not acknowledged in this whole issue. And I think it is important that when things like this happen, we do that to give people the opportunity.
Who is the hero? Who is the patriot?
Colonel Dominic Bua is the director of operations at NAIMOS.
You called him? He's your friend?
No, I don't know. I've never met him. There's a story on Ghana where he said, I survived by the mercy of God. Apparently, he was the man leading these things when it happened. This is a colonel of the Ghana Armed Forces saying that he survived by the mercy of God. He had other soldiers with him. He had a gun, and I'm sure the other soldiers had guns. There was a marauding mob besieging them. And I'm sure he would have remembered that a mob killed Mahama.
That's Major Mahama.
Major Mahama.
So, whose account are you? Is this Erastus's account or MP's account? Which one are you narrating here?
Saying there's a story in Ghana Web by this colonel saying that he survived by the mercy of God. And I'm now telling you that's how I want to start. This man is a hero. The soldiers he went to there are heroes. They are patriots. And they have demonstrated impeccable leadership. The Ghana Armed Forces should be proud of what these soldiers did. The Ministry of Defense should be proud of them. They should celebrate them. Because if you have soldiers well armed on an operation and they have been attacked by a marauding mob and nobody fired a gun, none of the soldiers fired a gun, none of the soldiers shot anybody, but they were able to handle this, even though you have the colonel saying that his life, he survived by the mercy of God. These are the perfect examples of leadership in Ghana. These are the men and women we want to be represented in the uniform in this country. I salute you, Colonel, this morning. And I pray that we have more leaders like you. We have more soldiers like you. Who will always show professionalism, patriotism, and dedication to duty in the work of doing. We salute you. Your story has been buried. Your stories have been buried because there's a politician. Your story has been buried because there are people running around whitewashing what the politicians have done. But I think that yours should be told, because you've told us that you can be professional, you can be ethical, and you can do the right thing. I'm happy with that. Secondly, if you come back to these real issues, the actions of this MP is the classical examples of impudence, of arrogance, of lawlessness, and of politics. He did this because he knew he could get away with it.
Adam says it's an allegation.
He did this because he knew that nothing can be done to him. He did this because he saw somebody saying, he saw what's his name? The NDC National Organizer, the Youth Organizer were elected. He saw that.
None of the videos saw them doing what you are like. No, I'm telling you, use the word alleged. No. He didn't pass Adam. Let me use the word alleged. That's what I'm asking of
Adam, please, let's establish the ground rules again, which I know you're very conversant with. Again,
use the word alleged.
Again, let me restate or reiterate that when you were speaking, Zato was not disrupting. And you held the position that your friend and then also your colleague, the MP, was innocent because he never committed the action. But you are happy that the president and even the speaker has triggered all the processes, agencies, and quasi-judicial bodies to be able to investigate this, and that the law should take its course. Is that not your position?
Yes.
Okay. He also holds a position that he has a conviction based on accounts, and he uses the Ghana Web story, Erastus's own second information, as you want to call it, to again buttress his point. And so, Adam,
go ahead.
Please, you have 2 minutes to wrap up. Dr. Zato.
Anyway, the actions...
Should I bring you water? Because he's disrupting you. Please go ahead.
The actions and inactions of this MP could only come from somebody who has seen that the justice system in this country is tailored to favor him and his party members. It could only come from somebody who's coming from a place of impudence, of arrogance, and the temerity to lead people to go against the Ghana Armed Forces, operating on the lawful instructions from the commander-in-chief. For me, sometimes it's the reason, sometimes it's the motivation behind it. Sometimes it's the idea that the person even thought that he could do this, and two, he could get away with it. That is behind this. And for me, as I said, I'm happy. There are certain things. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. I applaud you this morning for what you've done. But I'm surprised that this guy has not yet been referred to the Privileges Committee of Parliament. Because I can believe that if anybody else had done this at County Parliament, the person would have been referred to the Privileges Committee to do this. I'm also disappointed that the National Democratic Congress, as a corporate entity, has not issued any formal statement, either to condemn this or to support this. So far, I don't know the position of the National Democratic Congress, and it's important. Because see, we have all been told that the reason why Galamsey cannot be solved is because of powerful politicians behind Galamsey. That there are very, 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 very powerful politicians behind it. If we don't start disowning these politicians, we are only festering the problem. If we don't start telling these politicians that you do not belong to us, we are festering this problem. So for me, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed that nobody in the party has decided that let's issue a statement also as a sign to other politicians in this
formally.
area. Formally.
But don't you think the party would have been putting the cart before the horse when they know that apart from key individuals, because I've seen Eric J, a number of criticism also being publicly, which are on social media.
My position is that
key leaders
the
of the
party as a corporate entity.
But investigations are supposed to be conducted, then they can issue a statement.
The party as a corporate entity has missed an opportunity to send a very loud message to all its members that they will not countenance with Galamsey. The party as a corporate entity has failed to tell everybody that their position is this and that if you do Galamsey, you are on your own. They didn't do that. And thirdly, look, whatever we do, what I know is that at the end of the day, there will be ways and means of making sure that this thing ends a natural death. This thing may go the way of other things that have gone. I have no power over that. But what I know is that Ghanaians are beginning to see a narrative. Under the MPP, the idea was that the government under the MPP was protecting Akonta mining. The government under the MPP was protecting other people, other politicians. Every member of the civil society or opposition will immediately quote the Professor Boateng report as if it was the Bible or the Quran. Yes, and rightly so. Because all that went to indicate that powerful people, powerful politicians, both in government, were enabling or assisting Galamsey. Today, it's a similar thing. Mr. President, you have a very excellent opportunity here as a case study to firmly put your imprints on this Galamsey thing. To firmly let us know what will happen. I want to see how far this issue goes because it has the potential of what? Weakening the morale of NAIMOS. It has the potential of undermining the strict commands of the commander-in-chief to the soldiers and to NAIMOS to do their work. It has the potential of saying that if you are powerful and strong, and if the party has your backing, you can get away with anything in the Galamsey side. So I want to see, let's treat this case as a case study, a case study. We will follow. The skepticism in me says that nothing will happen, okay. But the patriotism in me says that let's continue to see how it goes.
He describes the Akukwu Anansi story, even though Edem vehemently disagrees as well. But from your own observation, the incident happened, is it Saturday?
Yes.
Late in the afternoon of Saturday.
Yes.
And the MP had to issue a statement, was it yesterday or?
I think, yes, yesterday.
Yesterday,
yes,
yeah.
Yes.
I mean, crisis communication 101.
You know,
the time lag, so it breeds a lot of suspicions.
But let me just use 30 seconds.
But really, he has to be investigated, and so he's not guilty before the law until proven.
You see, these are the semantics. I can understand Adam's position as a colleague in Parliament. He has stated his position. I don't have any problem with it, but I have a problem with the MP and a problem with all those that are involved in this matter.
You have a problem with the MP?
The MP must not go alone. Collins Dada must be hauled before the court.
Oh, how?
The Defense Intelligence who first appeared on the site. Because remind you, and let me here declare, that in the same way that Adam has a very close relationship with Kwaku Ado, I have a serious relationship with Keneboa. In fact, he was my senior at Prempeh College. And if you are talking about the 3 top military officers who are so honest, in fact, he is the only reason why when President Mahama said that we had not fully exhausted the tools available to us and that he was not going to declare a state of emergency, I said, yes, there is hope in NAIMOS. Because I know him and I have said it on this platform. Keneboa, that if members of this government or within the NDC would allow Keneboa to work, we may never get to the point of a state of emergency. Because he's one fine gentleman that holds his integrity at heart. He will never take any bribe from you. All that he knows is that let me do the job. Let's look at the chronology of events. The site, and mind you, last week I wasn't here. I was on the 5 regional tour. We were inaugurating our interim executives. So I went past this very site together with Yabo.
The 3 areas.
It is just by the roadside. And very close to a police barrier. I keep telling you that wherever these illegalities are happening, it's very close to a police barrier. They are all complicit. So when we went past there, we saw it and it's like, Galamsey at it, only to learn that this even happened afterwards. We were going to go also. Now, Kenabua was originally not going to that very site. He was on his way to go and do what they call reconnaissance. They were on a reconnaissance mission to identify a site that will be used as a permanent station point for NAIMOS to deal with issues of Galamsey in the Afro region. On his way, he was alerted that something of that sort was happening. And
there was a commotion.
That there was an illegality, the destruction of the environment taking place. So
they were refining the tappings.
Absolutely. So he diverted his troops there, his members there, to go and see what was happening. After all, NAIMOS is what? National Anti-Illegal Mining. So if he hears anything, irrespective of whether you were going there or not, you must pass there. And that is the mark of a professional soldier. That's the mark of someone who is ready to die for this country. He went there. He did not strike as a military officer. He decided to engage them, arrested all the guys at site, and asked the operator, the guy that was operating the machine, I have their full report here, to refill the land that they have destroyed. That's a mark. I mean, he deserves a national order. Kenabua deserves it.
Yeah, yes.
So when they started refilling the environment, so at a point he asked one of them to call the owner of the site. The first person to appear after that call was the defense intelligence assigned to Afro. That's why I say he must also be hauled to the court. They said they should call the site owner. The first person to come is defense intelligence. I keep telling you that it is the politicians and people that you call honorables in society.
You are saying that
is the reason why we are not dealing with
when he requested for
the owner of the site.
It was the defense intelligence
assigned person that came.
The representative.
He came to identify himself to Kenabua and his team as the defense intelligence person. The next person to come was one Alex. In a range over, arrogant enough, according to the NAIMOS, instructing them here and there. So the Alex is there before the MP came. Now, why did the MP go there? That is why I don't want my brother Adam to take hook, line, and sinker what the MP told him or might have told him. Because it will not stand the test of any rigorous legal process unless we want to deal with this issue.
You mean under proper scrutiny?
So first of all, the reason why I said this MP and Kolizada must be hauled. The MP claims he was called by Kolizada to go and attend to a business. Now Kolizada, I've listened to his account. He claims the first person he called was an assemblyman. If you are an MP of an area and there is a security challenge, do you call assemblyman or you call the commander responsible for the region or the very area that is easily happening?
Boss.
Absolutely. He cannot tell me that he's not oblivious of this fact. That when there is commotion, you call assemblyman. Mind you, in the case of Denjiro Obuasi, it was the same assemblyman, a supposed assemblyman, that led to the death of all. He led all the invasions. Instigated and caused the death of Major Mount. Here again, we have assemblyman. The assemblyman claims that he wanted to speak to Kenabua. Kenabua said he wouldn't. It was the reason why Collins Dada called, what's the name, the MP for Stephen North to go in. Now, according to NAIMOS, and I've seen all the videos associated with this commotion, there is no way in these videos that you see the MP who claimed he went there to, as it were, and show peace, calming any nerves. You won't see him in any of the videos calming any nerves. You understand? So that when they got there and he instructed, and mind you, he, the MP, together with his tax, instructed a colonel of the army. Yes.
He's saying that he went there.
They are tax. They shouldn't annoy anybody in this country. Who are the party? They are tax. They think we are joking in this country. Look, I lost my sister only last Sunday. And one of the reasons why I lost my sister at Kolebu last Sunday is because of the effects of Galamsey. And here, let me thank all the medical staff of Kolebu. The emergency UDC doctor, Donya doctor, Atakli doctor, what's the name, Angela Wood, for a yeoman job, though my sister did not survive. So if you come here and we are dealing with issues of Galamsey, nobody must try to deal with it. Collins Dada, the MP that went to the site, decided to instruct, together with the staff, an army officer, a colonel, assigned by the state to release the people that he had arrested.
You mean he instructed?
He instructed. Yeah, he instructed Kedeboa. Can you imagine? They had their grandson, but
Who told you that? Because
I haven't. I just told you that Kedeboa, is a very close friend. I have got him briefing. Me, I don't lie in anything. I have got him proper briefing. The LP, together with the staff, instructed him to release the guys. He said, no, I won't. But rather, I'll follow procedure. I want to send these people to police station. Listen to a professional person. He did not say he was sending them to Accra, but he was sending them to police station so that they go and deal with the police. It was there that they violently took the handcuff keys and freed the guys. You understand? You have done this and you have been told that what? You were there to make peace. Make peace to who? Make peace. If you are an MP and you hear that there is something illegal.
Is an MP, the explanation I also got yesterday was that he is an MP of... No, a neighboring constituency who was passing through Esutifi South, right?
Yes.
To a funeral. So he saw the commotion. Mind you, you say the thing is at the roadside.
Yes.
And so you see the commotion.
No, he said he did not see the gathering. He was called. He said he was going to a funeral. He was called by Collins Dada to attend to a business because Collins Dada claims he had called the assemblyman. The assemblyman could not deal with the issue, so he had to call him. And I'm asking Collins Dada that if there is a commotion in your constituency, do you call the district commander or you call an assemblyman? What is he talking about? You see, we do all these things to ourselves.
Well, but the president has ordered for
fantastic. I have said whether or not our democracy will survive entirely rests on President Mahama. I'm telling you, he must not take it lightly because a lot of things are going wrong and he has time with destiny to shape this country. He has time with destiny to fix it. And that is where I agree with Adam on the fact that ever since this matter came out, at least I've heard from Nupenu, I've heard Eric J. all condemn it. You see, when you are a political party, there is no way in any political party's constitution that says that you have to ask to go and engage in Galamsey to enrich yourself. Why is that them not engaging in Galamsey? Why is that them not being accused this morning? But Kwekuadu, they mobilized the tax for a military officer to say, I was saved by the mercy of God. It must worry you. If a military officer is claiming that the mercies of God saved him, then how much more you and I? The people went to the side with ammunition, arms. With arms. You have just been told by the interior minister that all the election violence and then deaths associated with elections are coming from confusion from both sides. People go to sides with arms, so their lives were threatened. But I'm happy this morning that NAIMOS have not lost hope, because I have just seen that in spite of what happened to Kedeboa and his team, they have gone ahead to arrest 7 Chinese in Zima area only yesterday. And so there is hope. But this administration must not. We know all the machinations that people, the backbiting on Kedeboa, that he must be removed. If there is anything that I can say, that I would want to congratulate the minister, the sector minister, that is Abba Kofi Bua, is the ample support that he is giving to the NAIMOS. If we are able to support them, forget about your politics, Ghana will make a headway. And these politicians must be told that this country does not belong to them. It belongs to all of us. You cannot destroy the environment and think that you are honorable. I'll end it here.
Quite interesting there. But so we know that investigations are ongoing. There was a bail condition. That bail condition was met, 150,000 as it is. And so the MP is on bail. And you're saying that Collins Dauda also should be...
He has immediately. He said he went there on the instructions of Collins Dauda. And this is...
Well, the police will have to investigate.
No, but Rola, it's very easy. Yeah, this investigation must not travel long. First of all, you go to MTN or whichever telcos. They spoke on phone. You have their call records. You see, we create the impression as though it's too difficult. When we want to embellish it or cover things, they will say investigations. Go to MTN or Tigo, you get all the call records and hear the voices, whether or not Collins Dada was advising him to just pass there or he was instructing him to get tax. Then we are okay to go. Not because someone is police, but in terms of the speaker's order. May I have said that until the speaker brings the perpetrators of those commotion in parliament. You understand? You know, they destroy some equipment and furniture and the microphones parliamentarians. The Speaker assured us that indeed he was going to bring all of them together and surcharge members of Parliament that destroyed these equipment and then facilities. As we speak, have you heard anything out of it?
No.
So ever since the Speaker chicken out that any directives he gives, I take it as one of those political talk. Unless until those that were seen on television destroying state properties brought to book, I don't take anything that he says.
All right. Okay. So, Adam, at the end of the day, the president is being applauded to be allowing the law to work.
Yes.
And what really, just in 2 minutes, is the opinion among you members of Parliament on this subject matter as well?
Roland, I have already explained to you that the fact that government is allowing the due process to be followed, the fact that Mr. Speaker has given permission to the law enforcement agencies to even arrest the NP and arraign him before court, because per our constitutional provisions, before you can arrest a member of Parliament, especially when he is on a parliamentary duty, you need to write to the Speaker to seek permission. We have granted all that, and we have allowed the institutions to work, and we have asked that let the investigations continue. The gentleman has been arraigned before court. My colleague, the MP, he is before court. He will have his day in court. He has his lawyers. He will go and defend himself. I don't see why we are in a hurry
to condemn,
to convict the gentleman when you don't know all the facts. So Solo saying, Zato saying it's Kweku Ananse's story and all of that. Look, if there is anyone on this panel this morning who does not even have the moral authority to comment on the fight against Galamsey, this is Dr. Zato. You have no moral authority.
Well, how do you mean?
Look, even when people were caught on video, taking bribes in order to give concessions,
you mean the
and engage in illegal mining,
issue a statement
Party
to them?
Nyansika, you don't remember that audio, that video, when they met as party executives to discuss how to entrench Galamsey?
But Zato was not in government at the time.
Whether he was in government, he is here representing the MPP, so he cannot.
But he was not in government at the time.
He does not even have the moral authority to talk about Galamsey. I am saying that the NDC and the NDC government, led by President Mahama, has shown enough commitment to the fight against Galamsey. And I am confident that if indeed the MP is guilty of the things he is accused of, nobody in government will shield him, if indeed he is guilty. But you don't expect me to come and pronounce him guilty. Like I said, I am working with the account from his side. But like I said again in my statement or in my submissions, he will have his day in court because I am not the judge. So I am saying that the government, the fact that the government has permitted for investigations to go on, for the gentleman to be arrested, even the bail conditions, even we as members of Parliament on the majority side, we may disagree with the terms, but we are allowing the institutions to work. That should tell you that we are different. You in the MPP, especially you, Dr. Zato, you have no moral authority to talk about Galamsey. Because if there is any government...
You are saying that because they didn't issue a statement on the
who decided to give Akonta Mining and Co? Who decided to give our forest reserves for Galamsey? Who decided to give our forest reserves?
No, but...
Look, Roland, over the last 10 months...
Two wrongs don't make a right.
Yes, and we are correcting the mess.
Give me the same time to
we are correcting the mess. We are correcting the mess.
I give him 3 minutes.
Roland, before, let me put something on record.
No,
before the NDC came into office, there were 9 forest reserves in this country that were declared red zones that security could not enter because they were captured by Galamseyers. Today, all those 9 forest reserves have been recaptured by this government. They have been reclaimed. That should tell you that we've made steady progress in the fight against Galamsey. So, we will allow the law to work. If indeed the MP is guilty, the law will deal with him. If the MP is not guilty as well, the law will set him free.
No, that's your 3 minutes.
What I've said is that, and I'm still saying it, I understand your tribulation and understand the difficulty you have today. Your best friend has been caught in the jaws of the law. You are sitting here this morning trying to use some revisionist history to whitewash him.
He hasn't said it.
Revisionist to whitewash him. I can understand that. I can understand the difficulty you are having to sit here to understand that the person you called your best friend created conditions to allow a kernel of the Ghana Armed Forces to say that he nearly escaped by the turn of his life. I can understand the situation you have now to say that somebody who clearly defied the orders of the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, you are sitting down here to do that. I can understand your reputation. I can understand your difficulty. But Ghanaians know. The soldiers who went, they know. The soldiers who nearly lost their life know. They understand. The soldiers in the barracks who've seen their command, the colonel do this, they understand. The men and women, the other noble men and women in parliament have seen this and they are bowing their head in shame. I'm surprised this morning you're not bowing your head in shame for this shameful, callous, wicked acts of one MP. I'm sure this morning you are not here apologizing for this, for the impudence, for the temerity, and for the arrogance and lawlessness of a member of parliament. I'm happy that this morning you are sitting down here trying to tell us some quack story that we don't know.
But what did the MP do that made him arrogant?
The point is this. The point, yes, to be able to go and face a kernel of the Ghana Armed Forces on duty, even if you believe the narration that Solomon gave you, to go and tell a colonel how to do his work, to go and tell a colonel who has handcuffed people respecting their human rights, and to tell him to do his work, how dare you? Who born you? With what? What makes you think that you know how to do this more than a colonel of the Ghana Armed Forces who is carrying out legal and legitimate commands from the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces? What makes you think that? That's the arrogance, that's the impotence, that's the lawlessness. My point is that,
there's a clarion, it looks like, positional opinion on the table, that it looks like the government and the president allows for rule of law to work. And so, well, his MP has been implicated in this. Indeed, a second one who is out of town or was out of town at the time has been implicated as well. He says investigations to continue. So there's commendation. A minute.
The point I'm making is this: at the end of the day, this case.
Do you think that commendation of allowing law and order, prosecution of even stated individuals who are aligned to the governing party and government to go on is good?
Of course, it's good.
Okay.
I'm not away from that.
Thank you.
And this is what this is the point I'm making. Oh, you started. Go.
Okay, thank you very much. Please. So what do you think needs to be done quickly as possible, especially from the point of the speaker as well, in Parliament, to caution those members of Parliament who could be in some of those areas which are very much Galamsey prone?
I mean, a lot of them are in there. If you go to the Galamsey constituencies, I keep telling you that Galamsey is done by big men in society. And so the MPs there, they came to power through assistance of some of these Galamsey. That's why the Galamseys are embodied. And if we are a serious country and want to rid this canker, we must go back to the basis and revisit the issue of how we finance or fund our political activities. That is what is fueling all this. If you look at the chronology of events, the people were emboldened, the site owner, the so-called Alex and the defense intelligence, they were emboldened because they thought they have everybody in the district at their disposal. I keep telling you that if you go to an area and there is Galamsey, the commander there has to be sacked. The police commander for the district has to be sacked. The NIB person has to be arrested. The national security person has to be arrested. The DC has to be sacked, and I've even included the member of parliament must be surcharged, because you see these things every day. Now there is also another twist to it that I will plead of the Zongo chief in Fidium. Please.
We're told
he should not annoy us. Please.
Zongo chief.
We have gone beyond trivialities. The country, people are dying, Every day people are dying. The number of people dying now is unprecedented. You were not there. You were not at the scene. You didn't observe anything. You only came into the picture at the police station when tensions had fled. How did you find your voice to all of a sudden issue a statement that the MP did not cause the mob to come? How? Chief, wait, my friend. We are serious this morning. So, Chief, you just rest somewhere. It is a fact that the soldiers' lives were threatened. It's a fact that Kennebua's Helios Pickle has been destroyed, vandalized beyond repairs. It is a fact that the Zongo chief himself, his car was vandalized. On what basis, again, do you come and say that something that you were not there, you say the MP does not have anything to do? Now, finally, let me thank the president for also allowing some of these processes to go on, but to let him understand that there are a lot of elements within his party and government that wish this fight on Galamsey is never won. And these people within that party, they have collaborators in the MPP. They do business together. I'm very surprised that Bobby Ansah has not released the video that he has of MPP NDC people collaborating on Galamsey matter. I'll call my friend Bobby Ansah, the Accra FM producer, to release that video so that we see people for who they are. We see them for what they are doing to this country, that they don't care.
All right.
And until we have genuine people like Kenebua and his team at NAIMOS, this country may never end this Galamsey.
All right, this one's coming from Safer. It says Dr. Zato and the MPP are currently sweating and clutching at straws. They are looking for the first scandal to crucify the NDC. And it's good that investigations are ongoing. And Sir Charles Elho says that I was surprised one of my best panelists, Solo, could not appropriate the security services and the government did not comment for swift action taken on this matter. And
why do you praise the president? What have you done?
Okay, Zah, good morning. Master Planner Junior says that great submission by Dr. Zato. Always a pleasure listening to him with fact and figures analysis, and see how Edem is sweating in the air condition. NAIMOS fuompo na Galamsey for Hunaman.
I don't know the best.
Oh, Master Planner.
Okay.
Master Planner, support my regards to him.
Master Planner.
He's very consistent.
Money says NDC will regret if they don't use these two MPs as scapegoats by getting them prosecuted for the right reasons. The law is the law. And then I have Fortune. Fortune Eliklim says, let Dr. Zato know that the current government is a million times better than the MPP government. If all these beautiful ideas were there, why didn't he say it in the past? The swift action taken by the government shows the NDC government is more than serious to prosecute its own if they are wrong. And that is a good departure from what existed over the last 8 years. All right. And say greetings to them as well. And, okay, Kujo Chumbuafo. Good morning to you. Says, please ask Dr. Zato a simple question. Has the MPP issued a statement since the Ashanti Regional Chairman was put on trial by the AG as being criminally culpable for engaging in illegal mining? Let it be known that the General Manager of Akunta Mining has stamped the state's evidence in the case. So since he wants corporate elements to issue statement, he should drink from his own calabash.
Is it Pito inside?
So why must the party, so he said, why must the NDC party issue a statement on a matter that is still under investigation and that the law must be allowed to work? And then Osei J. Boating says that the NDC MP's comments and then narratives are inconsistent. If you're on your way to a funeral, what business do you have going to stop a commotion and a fight? Besides, you're not a member of parliament for the area, so why take the keen interest? There's also the issue about he coming in there with tax. He hasn't exonerated himself. All he said was that he was there with party officials. Do we have party officials also coming in alongside the tax? It's a concern everybody should be raising an issue about. And then Eric Kwame, Nameto Kwame, says that we must take exception to Dr. Zato calling the contribution of Edem Agbana, the Honorable, as Kukwanan's story. Okay. Again, had the Honorable in the neighboring driven away on reaching the town of Hwidiam in which the chaos was taking place and did not do anything about the mob action. So those are some of the issues. But let's come to the substantive as well. The president says that there should be a forensic audit into the organization and expenditure thereof of the 2023 All-African Games. Adams. I say Adams. Adam.
Yes. Roland, I'm very happy about this call for forensic audit into the All-African Games. As a sports person, I was very happy that we decided to host the All-African Games here in Ghana. There are many, many benefits that comes with hosting such events in your country. And I will even encourage that my government will also push for us to host some events in the future of this nature. But Roland, what we saw at the 2023 All-African Games was nothing but an avenue for the then NPP government to loot the public resources of these states. I am convinced that any proper forensic audit into the operations or into the organization of the 13th All-African Games held here in Ghana will lead to the arrest and prosecution of many, many, many people. Because, Roland, the figures were so outrageous, very ridiculous. For example, how do you convince me that you spent $145 million on the Boteman Sports Complex? How do you convince me that you spent over $4 million on tax? Tax. You know what a tag is? Accreditation.
Maybe they were of
which quality? Which
tech,
quality?
High tech.
Roland, we were there. A game that was organized, that even when they needed a podium to display winners of some competition, they wrote it on paper. Shambolic organization. Shambolic. It was shambolic organization. Look, the PE team at Josek could have organized a better sporting event than what they did at the All-African Games. We saw how shambolic the organization was. And yet, look, when the figures came, look at the amount. I am happy that the president has ordered for forensic audit. My only humble appeal is that this should not be one of the many investigations that we really do not see the tail end of it. Because, Roland, the All-African Games remains a dent on our fight against corruption, because it is one of the low-hanging fruits. So I will call it low-hanging fruits. Roland, look at the amount that they mentioned that they spent on feeding the athletes.
$50 million.
$50 million. 15.
Yes.
Roland, $50 million.
But there were 13,000 people who came.
With do your calculation for the number of days.
They were not 13,000, they were 5,000.
They were, look, do you just do even the calculation, the official report. How many athletes came?
Maybe 5,000.
And many of the countries, many of the teams that came even complained that either the food wasn't coming early, they have to cater for themselves and others. Roland, look at how much they spent for the renovation of the hostels in Legon. Do you know that the amount they spent for the renovation of the hostel was more than the cost of building a new hostel? Elizabeth Say Hall. I was in Legon. I was a student at the time they opened these halls. These were fairly new halls or hostels that with little or no renovation, athletes could have used.
But the
we were told that they refurbished by bringing AC and fan and other things. What else? Well, what else did they do in there that the cost was more than building a new hostel facility altogether? I am happy that President Mahama has called for the forensic audit, and will urge the team to do a good job so that people be prosecuted for the grandiose crimes that they committed during these All-African Games. Dr. Zato, speak to it.
But he was in government at the time. And I remember when Mr. Yusuf, that is the current member of parliament, who then was sports minister, was hauled before the Public Accounts Committee. He gave some explanation as to what the expenditure was and why the expenditure was justified. But then how would you then describe this call by the president for this forensic investigation to be undertaken on the expenditure?
Okay. Thank you very much. I have to There's a phenomenon called the split screen phenomenon.
Is it a theory?
It's a phenomenon called split screen.
Split screen. Please,
It happens sometimes when there's a story and you want to change the narrative, then you put another story. So all of a sudden you have two. It's like seeing two different games on. NDC is on the ropes for Galamsey, and then overnight we're like, hey, let's throw in a stadium and then change the narrative. I call that split screen. That is it. But that's on a lighter note. On the bigger note, my position on all these things are clear, and even Roland, you can understand that. I've stated my position on regime accountability and post-regime accountability. That is clear. I've never hidden from that. And I've stated my position that, for me, that so long as you raise your hand to take an oath to defend the public health, you've raised it, you must be accepted for accountability. I've said that. I've also said that so long as people's fundamental human rights are respected, the presumptions of innocence and all that crap in the Constitution, so long as you're at it, because, I mean, you came willingly to serve the people, and whatever happens, let the court of competent jurisdiction decide. I have said all those things. But I've also said this, and I'm going to say this. You should be outraged by these figures. You should be. I said this on Saturday on Key Points, and I'm repeating it. Be outraged by these figures. That they are ridiculous, they are horrendous. But also then think about it. Once, if you are outraged by them, like Eden said, I want you to think about one thing. Just think for 1 minute. Imagine these figures. Tomorrow, that Honorable Dominic Ayine is moved to Foreign Affairs, and you are made Attorney General, and then you go there and issue a nolle prosecutor to throw this in Sawad. How would you feel? Imagine if tomorrow a new Attorney General comes and these issues are not solved, and that Attorney General flashes out these financial figures and because of this, how would you feel? And for me, that's what I always said. That thing we did, the thing that the state did, the Nelson Prosecutor, has rendered the argument of the state against all these people, because what you've done is that by doing that, you were condoning corruption. You've condoned
Dr.
corruption.
Zato, would you say if, let's say, the Honorable Yusuf, all right, would be involved in this case, and the case will still travel the long haul of 8 years, it will be fair, or it doesn't matter?
I'm not a lawyer. I don't know why cases travel that long. There must be reason. There are judges there. There's a legal process.
Okay.
We talked here last week about how to reform the legal process. In fact, some of the delays, I think I've been told, some of the delays are not caused by the defense. Sometimes the delays are caused by the state itself.
You mean the
prosecution itself.
All right.
So if you cause a delay, that's all. The bigger point, let me make the point. The bigger point I'm making is this. Let the law take its own course. Let these people be investigated. They will have their day in court. They will defend themselves. And at the end of the day, their guilt or their innocence should be pronounced by a court, by a judge, not a politician. At the end of the day, whether they go to jail or they go home should not be determined by a politician. The day that all these knowledge prosecutors were issued to flush down 10 million cities is the day this government lost any moral standing to criticize anybody of corruption.
Was that
the day they did, the day they did that, the day that you decided to do that, the day that you decided to give your friends.
So is your position that because a knowledge prosecutor
it's my position
was filed by the AG
because the AG gave sweetheart deals his political opponents and flies down 10 million cities on 10 billion cities down the drain. You have lost any moral right. You didn't blame anybody else from me because I want you to think about it. The total amount of this and what is how much? Imagine we're collecting all these monies.
Yeah,
that's my position. I'm going to
$245 million.
Thank you.
At the time, the CD was traveling between 14 and 16 cities.
Hallelujah. Just imagine.
What's your hallelujah to the cost of the funding?
I've already told you about trade by the figure.
Right.
Then just imagine.
$50 million was spent on food.
Just imagine one day with all these figures. A politician comes and decides that, you know what, this person is my friend. I will even go, I will throw it away. Imagine that.
All right.
Just imagine that. And for me, so the day this, and I have to say this, and I'll say it again, this is the cardinal sin of corruption that this government has committed. And any attempt to shout from the rooftops, to hold press conferences, to try to paint members of the government as black and as corrupt as possible, this cardinal and primary sin remains that what you have done is as worse as, if not worse than anybody else you want to charge, because you do not pick and choose who to hold accountable, you hold all accountable.
Solo. So we have key expenditure like the $15 million for food, and I asked some of my friends who are into sports, particularly those who have been experienced, have gone to tournaments, and they say for safety of the athletes and the health of the athletes, usually countries and teams do not allow host countries and teams or cities or football clubs to feed because you never know what could happen. Yes, or put something there for your players to be running. So usually the countries, when they go for tournaments, come with their own chefs, their own everything, and so don't depend on the budgets or the feeding of the host countries. That is what I was told. And then you have things like, the expenditure for them to be able to use for operational, budget was around 47 million, for example. Yes, miscellaneous and some of those things, contingencies and all that. What do you make of this investigation? Do you think it's been long overdue? It should have even been done by 2024, etc. And why?
Let me first of all say that Zato has not been fair to TV3, your producers, everyone involved in this morning show this morning.
Why?
The allusion to this play screen phenomena is not good enough because we come here to discuss issues. The sense I gathered from his rendition is that you were just doing equalization, that because you brought in the issue of NAIMOS, you also decided to bring in the All Africa Games. I don't get it.
I think he was talking about the government. That the government, because he asked when the government issued the statement for.
No, but you brought the topic here. So
yes, because I thought it was topical.
It's just topical, and that is a topical. He must be concerned.
As an editorial team, we thought it was.
And I'm also very much disappointed in you if he says, by virtue of the fact that knowledge postcard has been found, anyone who has stolen from this country must be left off the hook.
I've never said that.
That is what that is the reply that you. When you were speaking, I was here. I wasn't.
No. This morning, a lot of injustice has been done to me, so I want to agree. I've never said that.
Dr. Zato.
No, now I also interrupt because I've never interrupted anybody.
Did I interrupt you?
Let's go. I never said that. I've not said that. No. You see, Roland.
Dr. Zato.
So
Dr. Zato. No, Dr. Zato. Dr. Zato. So please, you shared an opinion that the issuing of the knowledge prosequa means that the government has no business, lost that credibility to instigate or start any form of corruption-related case.
So that's what I've explained to you.
So
am I not fair to as it were analyze it in the way? That's all. You cannot say that.
I've tried not to be disruptive of the program.
You let me go on.
I've tried that.
If you have tried, keep
done
there.
that.
Remain there.
So you are saying that his categorization is unfair?
It's unfair. It's unfair.
Why?
It's unfair because the point is that you and I know, we have known this matter since 2024, that all Africa Games, I don't want to hear irregularities, I don't want to hear misalignment. It's pure thievery and stealing. Let's get it straight.
Pure TV and stealing?
Look, a typical case in point. Before the Public Accounts Committee, the former Minister of Youth and Sports, Yusuf, what's the name? Yusuf Ahmed, it will come. Yusuf, told the entire world that the ministry had extended more than $3 million to the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. You remember that? Mustafa Yusuf. He told you that they actually paid Ghana Broadcasting Corporation more than $3 million to air. Is that not the case? Immediately he said, and here let me salute Professor Alassane Amin, the Director General of Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. It did not take him more than 24 hours to say, hey, wait a minute, what are you talking about? You are saying you paid GBC more than $3 million. We only received $105,000.
Are you saying the minister?
You do the deduction. He lied. Pierre, he lied before the country. He lied. You understand? Just like Adam has said, who pays $60 million to buy air conditions? These three halls, they are in very good conditions. In fact, the university took a facility
Elizabeth C. Hall.
I went there personally. And the sad aspect of it is that immediately after the games, they went and stole all the air conditions.
They were removed?
They were removed. I bet you it will not cost more than $500,000 what they did. It will not. Even if it gets to $500,000, we must question those that bought it. Why? Air conditioning doesn't give. Is it air conditioner that gives life? Is that what are you talking about?
High-level air condition?
High-level air condition. Look, the number of athletes that took part in this All-Africa Games, they were not more than 3,000. Take it from me. And like I said, the Egyptians, the Ethiopians, the Liberians, and all those that came, they don't know how to eat wache, fufu, and pesi, and so on and so forth. In fact, they bought their own chefs. They were eating from their chef's foods. So they couldn't have
Moroccans.
How can Moroccan come and eat fufu? You see, this country, when they are stealing from it, they are not even stealing with proper debt. Moroccan coming here to eat fufu. But we were told that we are spending $15 million in cooking. You see, one thing that saddens my heart is that this country, people that are put in positions of authority, they take advantage of the country anytime we have a difficulty. You remember the issue with COVID? When COVID struck, they took advantage of it and milked this country. Run this country aground. The All Africa Games, it was supposed to take place in 2023. But because we were not done with our infrastructure, we had to plead with the organizers to shift it to 2024. And when we realized that the country was under pressure, that was when all these things happened. Tax. Close to $4 million expended on tax. When Olympic Games, not up to 750,000.
High-tech tax.
Which one is it? Mere paper. The one who hold it will get a ton. They gave it to you and told you that they expended it. And the minister was bold. And the organizers, they were going about, because in this country, they think that it won't get to anywhere. You get my point. TMA Sports Stadium in Takwa, from scratch, Goldface Ghana expended only a little over $13 million. $13 million they used to construct a fresh stadium. Now, University of Ghana Sports Stadium, it was almost 84% complete. These people looked straight into you and I.
Which one?
Yusuf and his 13th All Africa Games Committee. They told us that they expended $34 million to finish it. Remember, the Aliu Muhammad Sports Stadium, how much it cost this country to construct it. Aliu Muhammad Sports Stadium did not cost more than $20 million. Esipon did not cost more than $20 million. Just finishing 16% of the stadium, we were told that it costed $34 million. Why do we do these things to ourselves? I told you that day, I was at the emergency unit of Kolebu. People were dying just like biscuits. Why? Because when they are brought to the emergency unit, bed to even sleep on, machines to take care of them, we don't have it. It does not cost much, but these monies find their ways into private pockets. That is why the youth of this country must be angry, because their future is being stolen. So I welcome, though late, but I believe that the president has done what is right by calling for a forensic audit. I only plead. I see the president trying to strike all the good notes, but who would carry out these instructions? Are the people going to carry out these instructions faithful to this nation? Will they be faithful? Will they not go and show changes? But I can assure you that after the forensic audit, there will be more exposure, because forensic audit, what it does is that it then goes into the details of every transaction. If you claim that you received $1 million for the purchase of air conditioning, there has to be a trace from the bank account of the 13th All Africa Games or the ministry to the vendor. And that is where the problem of the day lies. It has to be solved for 10 over 10. So it's a good thing, and every Ghanaian must follow it religiously. And let me end on this note. I hear a lot of people say that, why don't you shift more focus on the current government? Look, even in the banks, when you advance more loans and in a year it does not come back, you pause every loan, and what you do is that you go for recoveries. The country Ghana is now going for all the recoveries that has been stolen in the past. We must not allow them. Now it seems to me that individuals in this country are richer than the country Ghana, and so they have the booties in their pockets. It is for all of us to go for it, and the 13th All Africa Games is one of such issues. But Teman, who will build such a stadium at $145 million? Who will do that? Who will do that? The stadium.
Have you seen the stadium?
It does not qualify to even cost this country more than $50 million. They overblew it to satisfy their pockets and not the nation. Added to that, there were a lot of lands that were acquired for the state around that area, the Botema area. Go and check the politicians that bought all the state lands over there. They sold it to themselves. This country, it's as though the wealth of the nation has been given to few individuals just to utilize it to their personal benefit. It is time for us to revert back to the founding principles of those that fought for this country. That none of these political parties, their founders, were so much ingrained in monetary politics, in money. I saw national chairman of both the National Democratic Congress and the MPP who died as paupers. J.H. Mensah, as a minority leader, died without having a house in Accra, but he fought for this, for the MPP. current generation, people who were 6 years old at the time that the party was formed, they come to government and they're still beyond their ages. They still, when the people, their height, look at their height, the amount of money that they have stolen, if you package it, it will be taller than their height. This is what is going on. We cannot continue like that, else we are stealing the future of the younger generation.
General Secretary of the United Party.
Hey, you are taking your position. Please, apologize to YB. I don't want to take your position.
My apologies. The Communications Director for the United Party. UP,
United Party.
Thank you very much. And then Dr. Jabuntie Zato, Dr. Joshua Jabuntie Zato is also here as well. Thank you for passing. You want to have a last word?
No.
You're cool? Okay. And then also, thank you also for passing through as well. You want to have a last word?
Yes, why not?
Okay. No, not on the subject, any other matter.
Oh, not on this subject.
No. So it's okay.
Oh, I thought we were going to talk about this subject. Well, if I'm to have the last word, I want to use your platform to appreciate the charity Galley Foundation for Education for the projects they are about to construct in my constituency. We are constructing a 3-in-1 multi-purpose education resource center, which will house an ICT lab, a science lab, so that surrounding schools can have the opportunity to use all these science lab equipment and all of that, conduct whatever test, and to see the chemical reactions and all the other things. And we also have a community library. I want to particularly appreciate Professor Double Agbeko Odion Kumoji and his team for what they are doing, and also call for support for them. We'll be putting out some numbers and short codes so that benevolent people like Solom and yourself can also donate. As for Dr. Zato,
he said you should come to Sisala East. Don't always remain in Accra.
I will come. If he invites me, I will come.
Oh, he's always invited.
He goes to Sisala East
every weekend to go and do propaganda.
Oh.
And when he goes there, he has his camera.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. I have this one from Prince Daniel York from the UK. It says that my condolences to Solo. To lose a family is not easy. The forensic audit is a... You wanted to say something?
Yeah, I mean, sorry, I did run the story. Solomon, my deepest condolences.
My funeral bills are on you anyway, so... Not just condolences, you come and...
I brought myself, I brought myself. Okay.
You say they have all the money.
They have all the money. So
the forensic audit is a pivotal... The forensic audit is a pivotal step in Ghana's push for transparency in public spending, and also to prevent future spending. Indeed, Ghana was a crime scene, and this has to be corrected. And Osai Boateng, I see your message as well. Thank you very much. Edem, also, I see your message. And this one is from Eric Ameto Kwame. Mr. Kwame, good morning to you. He says, please ask Mr. Zato for me that if he were an AG and he comes to meet a simple case of corruption ongoing for 8 years with no end in sight, what will he do about it? You want to answer?
They say you didn't commend Maoli for our 75th anniversary.
Oh, but
I'm not the one saying it.
But that thing was 3 months ago.
No, only last week. But it was nice. I saw it. It was nice.
He invited you, didn't invite you.
But we also commissioned our project.
Right. So it's okay. It's okay. I thought
you see the UP-NDC collaboration. You see the UP-NDC collaboration.
Okay, gentlemen.
That's the UP-NDC collaboration.
It doesn't. We are for all parties. You can also join us.
Money says, Dr. Zato, your MPP had 8 years and could not prosecute anyone. Yet you want the current government to come and get evidence from where to do the prosecution on the same cases, because there was no prosecution in the first place. And then, okay, so I have this one from Zomra. Zomra says that it's not the government that asks TV3 to discuss the topics. Indeed, it's the editorial team. And let's see how. Okay, split screen phenomenon. Hey, okay, split screen. You said what does it mean again? The split screen phenomenon.
No, it's used.
It's more or less equalization. He's telling equalization.
Anyway, for all those who have sent our messages, we're grateful. And then also those who are on our stream sharing our views, we're grateful that you're able to give us some good views today. You've reduced to 3,000 though, by the way, but it was 3 for some point. So I see Abdul Yusuf say, I really enjoyed the show this morning. Keep it up. That's Yusuf Abdul Raouf. Alfred Dodu, good morning to you. It's been a while I've seen you, and says that the corruption cases there, they will be investigated, whether Dr. Zato likes them or not. Joanna Quay also has a message. And then also Kwesi Pano says that, Roland, make sure you have Nana Jantua tomorrow. And then also Yemole Yemo, good morning to you. As well as Ejay Boateng says that all the things that have happened also show that we have a government that is willing to hold its own accountable. And that should be the pivotal point of the discussions. And then Empress Wagner said, Roland, read the insult. I cannot read the insult. Editorially, we are not allowed to read insults. All right. And then I have this one from Philo. And so Philo, Philo has sent this message. So I'll read this one before I tell you about. Okay, so and she says, all the Mustafas are thieves. Mustafa 1 and Mustafa 2, who said careless.
That cannot be true.
Yeah, not all Mustafas are thieves.
Yeah,
You actually, names are not coterminous to armed robbery or thievery or corruption, etc. CM, all MPP members, including, should be thrown in a naval forest because they are criminals, you say. All right, so Philly and the rest of the family, wishing you all the best for the day.